So I just started practicing it this morning.
You can send the file that contains the query. You can send it to me. Somebody has, Mrs. Samiat sent her own this morning.
Oh, can I still do that later today?
We would like to look at it before we start today's class.
Oh. Okay.
I'm sending mine now.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
The speaker is too. I'll be your mic.
I don't know. We still have some people waiting on the. Mr. Makshan, is this your own?
Okay.
Mr. Makshan, you should have created a new window for this, a new query window. But anyways, no worries. So next time
I'm
you
sorry
create a
about
new
that.
window. No worries. No.
Okay, let me quickly create another one and send it.
No problem, no problem. I'm already looking at it. Okay, so we have is this name is unfamiliar. I'm sorry, Mr. Is it Mr. Adeyinka Adenikon or Mrs. Adeyinka Adenikon? We hear from you. Hello. Mr. Adeyinka or Mrs. Adeyinka, can you unmute? Unmute and talk to us. Speak louder, please. I can't hear you. It's very, very inaudible. I can't hear you. Can others hear him or her? I don't know. I can't hear you.
I hear you, please. Can you continue? You
You might have to get closer, very closer to your machine so that you can speak. Your voice might come out a little bit louder. Okay, we're already running. This is 18 minutes past 2. Okay, I think we have Miss. Okay, oh, if you can hear me, uh, good. All right, welcome everyone. Can you were you in class yesterday, Mr. Adeyinka? I don't know. I'm not familiar with this name. Okay, okay. All right. You're welcome, Mrs. Samiat.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, my welcome. So now let's quickly look at the the assignments before we move on for what we have today. Okay. Okay. Can you all see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So here is assignment that was given yesterday. This is Mr. Maxon's query. This is Mrs. Samiat's query. Okay. Okay. So pretty much the same. We have the first. I'll just use one, but I think I would prefer using the one that has the question on the query so that I don't go back and forth. So write a query that finds all telephone numbers that end with 0110 in the person table. Okay, so yep, this is correct. If we run the query, that should give us, yep. So now if we look at the result, we see that all the phone numbers that we get as a result actually ends with 0110. So we had 301 rows returned. All right, that is correct. And Mrs. Samiat has the same thing. All right, let's look at the second one. Write a query that retrieves all persons whose last name contain the characters. Bro, this is also correct because we said if we want to find a data that contains a particular set of characters, we surround that characters with the percentage, the wildcard percentage. So that works fine. The next one, Write a query that retrieves the product names. Let me actually put this on. Yes. Write a query that retrieves the product names and colors from products with names containing mountain from products table. Okay, so the same thing. This works. Number 4, write a query that retrieves the product name. Let's put this on a separate line. Okay, so write a query that retrieves the product names and list prices for products with a list price greater than $500 from the production.products table. Note, the following operators can be used to compare two values. Yeah. So this works. Okay, this works. And we can also do it, I think, let me check Mrs. Samiat's, what she has. This also works. So because we are looking for what we are looking for is a currency value. So we could either do it this way, using checking for integer. In this place, Mr. Marchand was checking for a string, which is also fine. So this way will be better if we are putting the dollar sign before the data. Okay, so if we do it that way, right, that works. Okay, or 136 was returned, and we can also have it this way. Oops. Connection on that. What's going on? Oh, something going wrong. I can't run this quick. Okay, so anyways, both works. All right, let's look at the next one. Write a query that retrieves the first and last names of employees whose last name starts with any letter between M and P, inclusive, from the person table. Here, Mr. Marchand has it. Start with any letter between M and P. This works. So using the hyphen character between the two letters will definitely give us any letters between M and P inclusive. That works. Okay, so we got names that actually starts with uh, any letter between those. But for Mrs. Samihat here, she puts underscore instead of that hyphen. So that should be an hyphen. Okay, the next number 6, write a query that retrieves names and colors for products with names ending with he from the product table. Now, with product, uh, with with names ending with the character e. Okay, let's check if this works. Okay, so you see that this actually does not work, right? It doesn't work. Let's check Mrs. Samiat's own as well. She has the same thing, so it doesn't work, right? That is because you were supposed to have, when you're looking for a single character, okay, the single character e at the end of um, a name. So if we put percentage, right? If you put percentage is just saying any characters after more than one characters after e. So it clearly doesn't work in this case. So how do we look for the single character e? How do we look for that? Okay, so we could look for the single character E using, we could say, put that in brackets and then put E there. Since we still have the same problem, okay, so we have the same problem, same set of results returning. Wait, let me look at the question very well. To write a query that retrieves product names and colors from products with names ending with E, with names ending with E from products. Yeah. Okay. We use the underscore to look for a single character. This should. So why is this? Why is it not working? Okay, there's a problem here. Okay, we'll come back to this one. We'll come back to this. Let's go to 7. So write a query that retrieves the product names and list price for products with names containing the word mountain and having exactly 3 characters before mountain in the name from products. So here you have underscore 3 mountain. It says mountain percentage mountain. Okay, let's see. This doesn't work. So what does Mrs. Samiat has? Same thing. So it doesn't work. So here it says 3 characters, right? It says what is it? For with names containing the word mountain and having exactly 3 characters before mountain. So since one underscore represents any character, so we can have 3 underscores here. 2, 3, right? One for each for a character. The second one for another character. The third one for another character. Let's see that. So that works, right? So we have stem here, and we shouldn't have the this one around this. No, this should not be. We shouldn't have the range. We are not looking for a range. Yeah. So it works. So we have names that start with any 3 characters. You see, in this example, we have LL, then a space character, and then mountain. ML, a space character, and then so on and so on. Right? So everything works. I think you did great jobs. Um, Good job to Mr. Makshon and Mrs. Samiat. This is very, very impressive. I'm impressed. The only challenge we have here is this one. So we're going to look at this, not to waste our time on this because we're already running out of time. Okay, so let's go to what we have for today. Now, before we go, do you have? Oh, we have just Mr. Makshon and Mrs. Samiat in the class. Others have left. Maybe they have network issues. So before we go, do you have anything to say on this, Mr. Makshon or Mrs. Samiat? Any question?
Actually, for my side, no question. I have an issue. Like, let's say I want to go back to yesterday class, and after logging in, I click on file and then click on the name this file I saved the name with. But after clicking on it, I cannot do anything. Like once I light the stuff and I click on execute, it will bring a red stuff at the downside.
You mean on your query?
Yes. Like if I want to
Okay.
go back to it and do it again.
Okay, so first of all, I I'm also having some issues here with query is currently executing. You want to cancel? So first of all, what you do is first you open SQL Server first.
Okay.
Why is it? So you open SQL Server, and then you go to File, and then open the file where you saved it. File, then you go to File. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So you go to click on File, and then you just go to where you saved the file. I think your file is in my. Oh, I died. Okay, I didn't save it. So you just go to where you saved the file, and then you open it.
Okay.
So I'm also having some issues on your query. I can't, it's saying executing, but it's not, and I can't even close it. So I don't know what is going on here. Let me just close my SQL server. Yeah, let me open my SQL server again. Okay, so let me go to file. Oh, can you see my screen?
No.
Okay, let me share it again. So you can see it now.
Yes.
Okay, so let me go to file, open file, BMC. Let me go to documents, BMC. Okay, so here is your query. You actually commented all of them. Okay, so we can do one line comments like that. So now you're saying everything is red line like this. Is this the kind of thing you have?
Yes, is the comment at the down is giving me red at that message side where it's going to interpret the code.
Okay. That means there is an error. There is an error in your query. If you are getting error here, you say something like this, right?
Yes.
It means there is an error. You see, it is person to person phone is having a red line. So that means there is an issue with this query. So here in this case, SQL Server does not recognize the table, person phone table. Now you remember that I mentioned yesterday that if you do not switch to the database where the table you are running your query is, you get an error message. Person phone is not in master. Master does not know any table called person phone, right? So you need to click on this place and switch back to AdventureWorks, and that error should be
Okay.
gone.
Yes, it works now. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So your
I,
query is
I was having the same. I was having the same issue
okay.
today also, but but like you said yesterday, I just remember quickly that you should always check that place and see whether you are still on that table that you are using. So immediately I
Exactly.
saw that thing. But the first thing was to check, and it happened twice. So I just quickly changed it to AdventureWorks.
Exactly.
But my major question is so for the number 7 question,
Yes.
yeah, the confusion was like it has to be 3 characters, and I was thinking, okay, we could just write 3 after
You and
the
Mrs.
underscore.
Samia just your thinking was the same.
So I when I did it, it returned nothing. I started looking. Okay, I brought out the whole this thing. I started looking at it one after the other, and I've forgotten that even space is a character. So I was like, I'm saying LL, I'm saying HL, I'm saying LL. Where is 3? There's no 3 now. Maybe I'm right, you know. But I try to use 2, right?
Okay.
Figure 2.
Okay.
Same
Okay.
thing
So
happened. So I just
you initially used three underscores.
yes.
Oh, okay. But you were confused that, oh, where
I
is the
was
fourth
convinced.
character
I didn't
here?
know that. Okay, the underscore I can do it 3 times.
The technical term for the space character is if I can remember, it's
Sir?
called. I said the technical term for the space character is a non-graphic character, or should
Okay.
I say a non-visible character. It is a character, but it is not visible. You can't see it. It is
Okay.
a non-graphic character. These ones are visible. L is a graphic character, you can see it. M
Okay.
is a graphic character, you can see it. But space is also a character, but an invisible one.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Oh, okay, you're welcome. So, yeah, you did great job. So now let's move on to what we have today. Okay, so I'm going to create a new query window now. Okay. All right, so the first thing we are going to look at today, let me just quickly use this opportunity to explain what I included in your assignment of yesterday that was not taught, but I took out a portion of the assignment to give you a hint. We call them the comparison operators. right? Comparison operators. Okay, so these are the comparison operators. The less than, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal, and equal. Okay, so less than. We're already familiar with these operators from mathematics, I believe. So basically use them to check two values or equal, greater than or equal, not equal, and equal. So we use these operators to check two different values if there's a comparison between both values. So if there is a comparison, we get what it returns is what we call a Boolean value, true or false. It returns true if the values are both compared successfully. If they are not, then it returns false, which we can also call no. True, yes. False, no. For example, if I say is 5 is 10 greater than 2, right? So the answer to this is yes, right? So the what the computer understands is a Boolean value which is called true. Okay, and if I say is 2 equal to 2 equal 10, then what I will get is no, which is the equivalence, the Boolean value equivalence of no is false, right? So I hope you get the point. Okay, so yes and true are equivalent, no and false are equivalent. So if they are both compared successfully, we get yes or true. If they are not compared, as in the second example, we get no. So we are going to be from this point onward, we are going to be using these operators. Okay. So now let me also we yesterday I introduced you to filtering. Filtering. Okay, so and the only filtering clause in SQL that we were able to cover yesterday was the where clause. The where clause. Okay, so now we know what the where clause does. There are other ways of filtering. We can use distinct, the word distinct, okay, um, to filter our data. Okay, we can also use the word top to filter data. Let's see an example on distinct. So first, if I say, if I select from, who is that again? Is it human resources dot employee? Okay, select job title. Okay, we have job title there. Yeah. Now, if I execute this, I will see that I've just retrieved all the job title from the employee table. So I have all the job titles here. Okay. I have, now let's say what I would just want to see is all the different job titles that I have in this table. But here, it is giving me, of course, it's giving me a duplicate job title because there might be, the table is called the employee table. There might be two employees who have the same job title, right? So, but my own intention, my purpose is only to see the different job titles that I have in the table. So I can now, how can I prevent these duplicates instead of research and manager, development manager in 4 places? I just want to see one, and then other duplicates, one each for each job title. I want to see one representation. Okay, just one job title. I don't want to see any duplicate because what I want is to see just the different job titles that I have in the table. So this could be applied to any other uh, thing that you want to do. When you want to remove duplicates, you only want to see the distinct values, the unique data. So how do we do that? We can precede job title with these things. Okay, so select distinct job title from uh, human resources dot employee. Now let's run that. Now you see, so we have account manager. Now let's see that research. Where is that research at? Okay, but I think it is somewhere down. Oh, let me confuse you. What we have actually done is to prevent duplicate records from being part of the result sets. Okay, so we have actually eradicate or take out those data that are that are duplicated in the table. Okay, so we only have distinct only those that are not duplicated. Okay, so now we have research and development engineer and research and development manager. You see that? So we have now taken out those duplicates and we only have the only the distinct ones. Is this clear? Any question on this?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so what you are saying is when you see distinct, it's just we just want to know, like this for this example now, we want to know the job titles, the number of job titles that we are having.
Not the number. Mm-mm. we want to remove duplicate data. So and we will leave how do I put it now? We remove the duplicate data from the table. Now let me show you this again. So if I execute this, you see what we have. We have design manager, a design engineer twice. Research and development manager, research and development engineer, research and development engineer, research and development manager. Okay, so multiple times. So for now, for each of these duplicates will have one. So we have two design managers. So one will be taken out when we put these things, and we'll only have one remain because this is a duplicate. Do you understand now?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay, so these things. So if we now go to this is the design was that design engineer. So we now have only one design engineer instead of two. Okay, so Mrs. Samiat, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the next one is top. Top is actually to only see a certain amount of rows. Let me use the same table, the same example. So if I just want to see some just a certain amount of rows, the top rows. Okay, so here if I say select top 10 rows. Okay, before I execute that. So I have 290 rows returned as a result of this or of executing this query. Now, let's say I just want to see from 1 to 10 rows, from number 1 to number 10. Okay, so I will say select top 10 job title. Right? So if I run that, you see what I have. So I only have just the first 10 rows. Just the first 10 rows. I can also say select top uh 50 rows, and I will have just the first 50 rows. It says 50 rows returned. And you can also use percentage. You can use percentage. So I can say, what is the total? Let me see the total rows we have here. Total rows that we have here is 290, right? So if I say select top 50%, 50% job title. So that is about that is half of 290. That is about 150 rows, right? So let me run that. You see what I have? So I have 145 rows returned, right? The first 145 rows, 145 data are returned. Okay, so hope that is clear. Okay, so moving on, now we're going to look at logical and logical like sorry, we looked at logical like yesterday. So we are going to look at logical like, logical or, logical not operators. Logical and or and operator. So how does this work? So this operator combines, let me write, combines two expressions, two Boolean expressions actually, two Boolean expressions, and it return true when both expressions are true. When both are true. Okay, so the logical and returns two combines two Boolean expressions and return true when both expressions are true. Okay, so you remember when I introduced you to the comparison operators that we can use to combine two values, and then what it will return is a Boolean value, either true or false. So that means we can use the AND operator to combine two different expressions that are going to return Boolean value. For example, I can have 10 greater than 2, then I would say and 2 less than 10. So this is one expression, right, which is going to return a Boolean value. This is another expression which is going to return a Boolean value. Now, so and says, in fact, I can put both of them in different in parentheses just to show that this is a separate expression. It's also a separate expression. Okay, so and combines both of them, and it ensures that both of them are true. Now, let me ask you, what do you think this expression will return, true or false? What do you think and will return, true or false?
True.
True, right? Can you tell us why you said true?
Because 10 is greater than 2, and 2 is also less than 10.
Yes, because 10 is greater than 2, and 2 is also less than 10. So we're going to get true as a result. We're going to get true as a result. So that is and. And helps you combine two Boolean expressions and then return true only if both of them are true. Now, here is another example. So we say 5 greater than or equal to 3, and 10 greater than 2. So what would this return?
False.
False. Okay. Can you tell us why?
Because 5 is greater than 3, but it's not equal to 3.
Exactly. Because 5 is greater than 3 and is not equal to 3. So we get false. So I hope Mrs. Samiat and Mrs. Modinot are also following, and I hope you agree with that. Okay, so let's have a query on this. Let's write a query. So we're going to have an example here. Let me just put that up. Okay. So we're going to write a query that says, all right. So the following example retrieves employees' records that have their job title as marketing assistant and vacation hours greater than 41. So we want to retrieve employees, only the marketing assistants. You know, in the job title, you have different employees, those who are doing different jobs. But what we want to say, for example, the task given to you is to retrieve the marketing assistant people, and then you want to see those whose work hours, whose vacation hours is greater than such a certain amount. But in this example, 41. So let's write that query. So we say select from my resources dot employee. So let's see. Let me return. Have let me check that table first. Okay, so I have business entity ID. Let me check, retrieve the business entity ID, and then the job title, and also the okay, I think just job title. Yeah, vacation hours. Vacation hours. So we can say where now where job title equal marketing assistant and vacation hours equal equal 41. That's an integer, not a number. Okay, so you see the query. So we have business entity ID, job title, vacation hours. These are the columns that we have selected. We can put them in different lines for more readability. Then we can also put these on different lines as well. Okay, so where put this here. All right, so let me run the query and see. Okay, so I have just one person on that. Oh, did I say greater than? It should be greater than, not equal to. So greater than. All right, so I have just two people that belongs to that category. Just two people in the company that have their job title as marketing assistant, and their vacation hours is only greater than 41. If we want to include more people, we can say greater than or equal to So that will include 41 as well. So here we have including 41. All right. So are you able to run the query? Does it work for you? Do you understand it? Give me thumbs up if all that questions are answered. Hello, can you give me thumbs up if you were able to successfully run the query? And do you also understand it? Any question?
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
I ran the query, but it didn't return any table.
You said what?
It didn't return any. It was blank.
Check your query very well. Oh. Is it the same thing that you are seeing on the screen? Do you have the same thing? Mine is returning something. Oh.
Check. I have issue with the marketing assistant. Yes.
What did he say?
Okay. I think the marketing assistant, I didn't put space.
Okay. Okay, so since there is no question on that, it seems that is clear. So let's move on. Let's look at the logical OR operator. Logical OR. So it's just similar to logical AND, but not as strict as logical AND. So the same thing, let me just copy this. It combines two Boolean expressions and return true when either, not both now, when either expressions, when either expression is true. So when one of the expressions is true, it returns true. So all does not enforce or does not mean that both of them must be true. If both expressions are true, that is fine. If one of them is true, that is fine. Okay, but it will also not work if both of them are false. All right, so let's use this. Yeah, let's use the same example. So here now, say instead of and, we put or, right? So now we execute. Now you see what we have. You see what we have? We have more rows than the previous one when we use and. Okay, so because this is more flexible, it says give us all of those data where job title is either marketing assistant, right? Either marketing assistant or vacation hours greater than 41. So what this means is that there are people whose job title is not marketing assistant, but their job title is greater than 41. That's the job title. Their vacation hours is greater than 41. Let me repeat that. There are some employees whose job title is not marketing assistant, as we have checked here, as we have written a condition for that. But there are those whose vacation hours is greater than 41. There are others whose vacation hours is greater than 41. So they are going to be part of the results, as you can see, as you can clearly see here. So we have people from both from marketing assistants, from marketing specialists, and other job title areas, right? So that is how OR works. OR is more flexible. When you want to check for more, you want to include more, data, you can use OR. So I mentioned earlier, if you want, when I was showing you this example, I use parentheses to separate the expressions. Okay, so you can also use parentheses here if you want to separate the expressions. You can use parentheses to separate this expression. Okay, just to show that, okay, that is one expression and this is also one expression. Okay, another significance of the parentheses, you need to take note of what I want to tell you now, because it's going to come up in one of the assignments that I'm going to give you. Parentheses is useful because sometimes you might want to write a bit more complex queries that would involve and or. Okay, that queries will involve and or, both of them in a query. So when that happens, and takes precedence, you know what we call order of operation. I think you call it something like similar to board marks in mathematics. When if we have an expression, if you have multiplication, uh, division, uh, plus and minus, right? We say multiplication evaluate first, right? Followed by either multiplication or division evaluate first, right? Followed by plus and minus. Similarly, when you have in one expression, you have and or, okay? And we take precedence and we evaluate first, and then or. So and will evaluate first before or. Okay, so I hope that explains it. So you might run into a situation where you are writing a query that involves and or. So you need to know which one do you want to evaluate first. So if in your situation the expressions around or are meant to evaluate first, that means you are going to surround it with parentheses, just like we can also do in mathematics. So if I want to evaluate plus, expressions around the plus operator first, right? I will surround that expression with parentheses. And of course, that will evaluate before multiplication. So I have changed the order of operation. So I hope that is clear. So any question before we move on? And make sure that you're also typing and running the queries, okay? And if you have any question, please ask.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't hearing you clearly, but what I can deduct now is that when dealing with both logical operators,
Mhm.
or when both logical operators appeared in our query, that's when this parenthesis should surface, the bracket you used now.
What did you, can you come again?
I said when we are dealing with both logical operators,
Mm-hmm.
when they surface in our query, the and the or,
Mm-hmm.
is that the reason why this parenthesis you use, the bracket?
In this situation, I just used it to demonstrate that we can we can separate an expression, one expression from the other, or you can, it doesn't have any, really, it's doing nothing here, right? I can decide not to put it. It's not doing anything here, not to confuse you. Where
Okay,
it's,
okay,
yeah,
I get it now.
where it works is when you have a combination of and or. For example, you have, say you have job title, where job title is marketing assistant, and you want to say or job title, job title, let me do that, is equal, okay, is equal, what other job titles can I, okay, let me use marketing specialist, marketing specialist, okay. Now, and vacation hours greater than 41, right? And vacation hours greater than 41. Now, you see, we have in the same, let me put them on separate lines. So in the same query, I have a combination of and or. Now, can you see that? I have both and or in the same query. Now, just like the mathematical operators, all we and we evaluate first will be the first to be evaluated. That means when the evaluation, the database engine gets to this place, it will evaluate this first, right? Marketing assistant, a marketing specialist, and vacation hours greater than 41 before job title equal marketing assistant. So and we always take precedence. Now, if you want all to be evaluated first beforehand, if that is the kind of query you are writing, then you need to put the expression for all in a parenthesis like this. In parenthesis like this. Like this, right? Then after that we can have and. So this part will be evaluated first before this part. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So let's run the query. Let's see. Okay, so you see what we have. You have marketing assistant, marketing specialist, marketing assistant, and all of them greater than 41. All right, so let's see. Any other question? So the not operator. We also have the not operator, which you can use to negate a boolean uh, expression. Okay, so how does it work? Let's use the same example. So we use the same example for logical nots. So here I have, in this case, I can say where job title equal to marketing assistant and vacation hours not greater than 41. Okay, so let's run this. You see what we have? Look at the query very well. Okay, try and dissect it, try and understand it. Give me some minutes, I'll be back. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So any question? Yeah.
Hello. Does it mean that this query says that the vacation hours should not be more than 41 for
Yes.
anybody that is a marketing assistant?
So, this
That
expression, that is the interpretation. This expression says greater than 41, right?
okay. Yes.
So we are now saying and not greater than 41. So only those marketing assistants whose vacation hours is not greater than 41. Those are the people we want
Okay.
to see.
Because I was expecting that it should return more rows than one. Because at least there should be people that their vacation hours fall below 41.
The reason we don't have it, that might be because, oh wait,
You
yes,
get
we should.
okay.
Let's run a query here. Okay, so we have uh vacation hours, people whose vacation hours is less than 41, right? Now, don't forget that we have constrained this the results. First, we said those people, those employees whose job title is marketing assistant. So that is one. That is the first constraint. And if you look at those people whose job title is marketing assistant, their vacation hours is between 41 and 42, right? So that is the first constraint. That is the first condition. Now the second condition using
Okay.
and don't forget that and is very strict. So using and, only those whose vacation hours is not greater than 41. That means we are only going to get 41, because obviously 42 is greater than 41, 43 is greater than 41. Do you understand now?
Yes,
All right.
and that's what it becomes.
What did you say?
I said it was because of the data it has. If there were more, it would have returned more. I get your explanation.
Okay. So, Mrs. Samiat, are you following? Do you understand this? Any question?
Understand.
I can't hear you. I didn't hear you. Why is it not audible?
I said it's cleared, cleared.
Okay. Okay, so now let's look at, so those are the logical operators. Okay. Let's we can use another example here. Let's have one more example before we move on or up because of time. Okay, let's do sorting. Let's move on to sorting. Okay, so let's talk about sorting. Now, what can you tell me about sorting? You must have, done some work on sorting when you were doing data analysis with Excel. So, what do you understand about sorting? Hello, are we there? What can you tell us about sorting?
Sorting, I think sorting means arranging your data according to the specification so that it will be more understandable, to be alphabetical or serially or due to colors, so that you have what you want at a glance and it's more understandable to the user. That's it.
Okay. All right. So, good one. So, sorting basically to order your data either in ascending or ascending order, alphabetically, from A to Z, or the other way around. Okay, that is sorting. So we sort record. If we sort uh, numbers, we say we sort them from one to wherever it ends. If we sort letters, we sort from A, B, C to Z, and so on. So the clause that we use in SQL to do that is called the order by clause. The order by clause is used to sort the results of the query. Okay, so let's have an example. So let's see. Let's use okay. So I have you are familiar with this kind of query. So now, if I run this query, let's see what I have. So I have um, product ID and the products, right? Lock washer. So I want to see all products whose name starts with lock washer, right? So, and I have all of them, all the lock washer products here. Now, how can I sort the record? Let me say I want to sort it by the product ID, starting from uh, uh, the um, the lowest product ID to the highest, right? So I want to see the record in order from the lowest to the highest. So I can say order by product ID ascending. ASC means ascending, right? So now I have the first one, the lowest, the products with the lock washer with the lowest ID or the smallest ID is 463, right? Followed by 464, 465, 466, and so on. So what if you want to see from the product in from highest to lowest, right? What if we want to see the product from highest to lowest? So we can say order by product ID descending, DESC. So that will give us from the highest product to the lowest product. The highest lock washer uh, to the lowest lock washer, right? So this is clear. Any question on that? Okay, so with that out of the way, let's look at uh, another statement here. It's called null. Okay, null indicates it indicates that the value is unknown. Let's get that right. Unknown. Oh, can't, can't spell unknown. Unknown. Yeah. Okay, I think I spelled it right. Okay, so that is null. Null indicates that a value is what? The value is unknown. Now let's look at an example. Let me let me drop the text here that tells us what we would like to see. So the following example retrieves or returns the name and the weight for all products for which either the weight is less than 10 pounds or the color is unknown or null. So null, whenever you see null in a table, that means the value of the of that data is unknown. Let me give you an example. So let's write a query on the production table. Okay, so we select what are the columns? Name and weight. Wait. Okay, now let's see what we have in this table. Now you see we have the product names and then we have the weights. Okay, so now if you look at the weights, you have null. All the most of the values we have on the null column is unknown. That means the weight for these products have not been, have not been given, have not been supplied, probably by the person who gathered this data did not give us the weight for this product. So we don't know the weight for this product. Now, sometimes when you run a query, you don't want the null data, the ones with unknown data, to be part of the results. You don't want them to be part of the results. So how do you remove them? How do you exclude those data with null value. That is what the example we're going to see now. So I can say where, now it says, for all products for which either the weight is less than 10, right? So that is weight less than 10, or the color which is less than 10 pounds, or the color is unknown. Actually, let me use weight. Or I don't want to use that color. Or weight is not null. Okay, let's run the query. Now we have 205 rows returned. Now, if you look at what we have in the table, the data that we now have all those products whose weight is less than 10 pounds, right? Whose weight is less than 10 pounds, and whose weight is known, right? We know this weight. This weight is is given. Right?
Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm with you.
But the question says the following example returns the name and the weight for all products for which either the weight is less than 10 pounds or the color is unknown.
Yes, I deliberately did not use that. Okay, but either way, let's do it that way. Let's put the color. Let's use the color. So our color is not null. Okay, so now without putting the color column, you will still be confused, right? Because here you may be confused. I don't know. You may not be confused. You may be confused. You may not be confused. Because here we have weights which are still null in the results, right? We have products whose weights are null in the results. Now, to see this, to know that this query works, we have to include the color column. So we now see that in the color column, we don't have any null value, because originally the color column has null data in it. Let me run just this part of the query. You see what we have? We have color color that are not known, null data in the color column. So when we now say where weight is less than 10, or color is not null, right? So we get only those products whose weight is less than 10 pounds and the color is known. Is it clear now? Any question? Anything you might want to clarify? Mrs. Modinat, Mrs. Samiat, Mr. Makshon.
Sir, I want to ask
Good.
something. The first one that you did is
Okay.
or where weight is not null. That means it's actually we want to bring out two facts from that weight, Abi.
The first one.
Yes, number one is less than 10, and number
Mm-hmm.
two, where is not null.
Are you talking about this query, this one?
No, the one that we the weight without color, only the
Okay,
weight.
okay. Let me put that here. Okay, where I say where color, where weight is not null, right? This one. You're talking about this one, Mrs. Samiat.
Yes.
Okay.
That
So
means
this is okay. Go ahead and ask your question. Go ahead.
we want to bring out two facts from this where weight is less than 10 or where
Mhm. It's not null, exactly. Yes. So, but I just realized that there is a defect with this query because without weight is not null. This is still going to work. Just this part of the query is going to work fine, right? We are not going to get null because we've said where weight is less than 10. So it's going to only give us weights that are less than 10. So null is not less than 10. Null can never be part of the results. So this part is redundant. It is useless. Do you understand?
yes.
Okay. Mrs. Modina,
Hello,
you
sir.
wanted to ask a question. Hold on, Mr. Makshon.
I'm cleared now.
What?
I think I'm cleared now.
Okay, okay. Okay, Mr. Makshon, go ahead.
Where weight is less than 10, or what if I write or weight is none? What will happen?
Okay, what if you say weight is null, right? That means you want to include those weights that are not known, right? That means you are checking for you are finding two facts, two things. The first one is those weights that are less than 10. The second one is those weights that are null. You want null to be part of the results. So let's execute that. So you see what we have? So we have null and null weights and weights that are less than 10. Clear? Mr. Makshon, is that clear? All right, great. So now, let me give you something. Oh, okay, you also need to take a break, right? So let's go for a break. We'll come back in 15 minutes time by 4:10. That's around 20, about 20 minutes. Okay, so see you then. In order not to have issues of coming back, oh, this is not has gone. In order not to have issues of trying to join again, I think we should just stay in the call, right? We can stay mute. We can stay muted. When we come back, we continue from where we stopped. All right, thank you. Hello? Hello? Okay. I think Mrs. Samiat is here. Mr. Markshon, are you there?
I'm here partially.
Oh, don't stay partially. Okay. So we have looked at null, what it means, and how we can write a query for null. So if we have a data that contains null data, how do you remove null data from the results that you want to get? Or if you want null to be part of the results, how do you make it part of the results? We have seen how to write a query for that. Now, another thing we'll look at here is called column alias. Column alias. Let me put it here. Come out. I hope you are there.
You can't see your screen.
Oh, you can see my screen. Oh. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, column alias is an alternative name. Alternative name for a column in the results. Okay, so sometimes the column name the column name for in a table is not very well descriptive. It doesn't really say much about the data. So in that case, we can use column alias to replace. Actually, let me use replace. Is an alternative name to replace the column name in the results. Now let's see what query do we have here. Okay, let me use this one. Let me use the same query. So we have this query here, and when I run it, I have name of product, weight, and color. Now these names are general, especially name. Name is a general. Name can be a name of a person. It can be a name of an animal. It can be a name of anything. So how do we make it more specific? Because what we are dealing with here is a product name. So how do we replace name with product name in the results? So we can use column alias. And how do we do that? We use the as keyword. So you put a space after the column name in the query, and then you do as, product name. Now, there are different ways of doing this. I can use quotes that we are familiar with. And I can also say weight. If I also want that to be more descriptive, I can say weight as product weight. And finally, color as weight color, product color rather. So as product color. Put that on separate lines. Okay. So now I have right. So let's see this. Let's run this query. Now I have on the column name, the name is now being replaced with product name, and weight has now been replaced with product weight, and color has now been replaced with product color. Right? That is more descriptive, makes more sense, right? To use something very descriptive as this. Okay, so that is what column alias do for us, or does for us. That is how we can use column alias to replace the name of the column in the result. Yep.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm with you.
The changes that happened here from the results,
Yep.
will it reflect in the table also?
That is a good question. So when you write a query, the result you get is like a different table, like a temporary table. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yeah, the results you get, whatever you do on the results does not really affect the table, except if you do updates, you update the table, the original table. So this is not going to affect, this is just a temporary result. It's not going to affect the original table.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so any other question? All right. Let me just to show you that we can also we can do this different ways. Here I'm using quotes. I can use square brackets as well. Okay, I use square brackets, and I can also decide not to use either square brackets or quotes. But there will be a problem if the name I am trying to use is made up of two different words. So somehow I would have to join the two words. So I can use underscore to join both of them, and that will work. So I've just shown you the three different ways that you can for which you can use to change the column name. So you can use quotes, if the name you want to the name you want to use, or the column name you want to use, is made up of two words or more, you can surround that with quotes, and that will work fine. If you don't want to use quotes, you can use square brackets. If you don't want to use square brackets, you can use underscore. Or you can sorry, you can if you don't want to use either of the two, right? You can decide not to use any of the two, but that will work fine when the name is just made up of one word. If the name is made up of more than one word, then you may need to find something to join the two words, like underscore. I'm just using underscore here. You can use anything to join the two words together. Okay,
Can I
so
decide? Can I say I want to use this three different ways on the same query?
can you decide that you want to use three different words? Like
Like
use
these
another
three
word here.
different examples that you used.
Like
Like
you want to
instead
put
of using
another word
quote
here.
or square bracket, or using the underscore to join the, if there are two words to join them together. Can I say, okay, oh, that's how I want to put it? Will there be problem?
No, 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 no. I didn't get it. Can you repeat?
Okay. Okay. For clarity, just run it like this. Will it work?
Sure.
Okay, sir.
So I have product name, product weight, product color. But you see that product color is having underscore.
Yes.
Okay. Any question before we proceed? Okay, so now let's go back to our maths class. Let's do a little bit of mathematics, because actually SQL is very powerful. You can also do some mathematics in SQL. So let's talk about maths, constants and math. Let's do some arithmetic. Now let's say we are told to retrieve some data. Okay, we have a product table, and then we are told to um, the product table has the product name and then the prices, the price for each product. Now we are told by our superior to fetch those data, and then we should also give a discount on each product. So we should write a query. To be more specific, we should write a query um, to give a discount on each product that we have. Specifically, maybe a 15% a 50% um, discount on each product that we have. So how do we write that query? Okay, so that is one way. That is one thing. That is mathematics. So how do we write that query? Now let's see. Using the product table, let's use the product table that we have. Select from production dot product. Okay, so columns should I use? Okay, so product. Let me use product ID. Want to see the product ID, and then the name of the products as product name. As product name and list price as as product price. All right. Okay. Oops. Okay. So now let me run this query. So I have here the product ID, the product, and then the price for each product. Now, so what we set out to do, what we want to do is we want to write a query to get a discount, a discount rather, for each price, for each product price. So we can actually, the way SQL works, we can use SQL to generate another column here, right? And that will be maybe discount price, or sales price, or whatever we want to call it. Okay, so let's do that. So I'm going to put another column and say list price. List price. Now, what we want to, let's say we want to get a 15% discount. A 15% discount on each product price. So I would say list price times 0.85. I think that is 15%. Okay, and I'll rename that column as can we call it discounted price? Does that work? I don't know if we have some sales people here. Discounted price. I'm just trying to arrange things. Okay. This does not affect your query in any way. I'm just trying to make things line up. Okay, so now let's see what we have. Or have 0, okay, for those that's 0, have 0. Let's see. Actually, let me check for those that are greater than 0. I just have zeros, a bunch of zeros here. So where list price greater than 0. Yep. So I have for these products, the original price is 133.34. Now the discount price is 113.339.239. and so on. Now you see how we're able to use SQL to generate another column, and then we also give that column a name, and that column is called discounted price. Any question? I know this may look a little bit well, don't let me assume, but I believe you all understood it. Give me thumbs up if it is clear. If it is not clear, then you can ask your question. All right, so getting a thumbs up from Mr. Maxon. It is clear on his part.
Sir, please, can you explain what you mean by this code?
By
Like the code that you wrote, say, can you please explain it? Like
which one? Which of?
Okay, this price 0.85 as discounted price, and also where the list price is less than 0.
Okay, so list price is a column in the table, you know, right? And then we rename it just like using the column alias, so to product price, which is this. Now I mentioned before writing this query that, let's say for example, we want to get a discount for each product price, specifically a 15% discount on each product. So from mathematics, we come to know that 0.5, if I have 0.5, 0.85 times a multiplied by some number will give me 15% of that number. So if I say 15 times 0.85, so the result I will get will be 15% a price, how do I put that now? A 15% reduction from 15, from this, let me use another, I'm confusing myself with 15. Let me say 45. So 45 multiplied by 0.5, I will get another value, which is going to be a value of 15% reduction from 45. Now let me put that in a calculator. So 45 times 0.5. So here on my calculator, it gives me 38.25. You can try that out in your own calculator as well. It gives me 38.25. So this is just math. Don't blame me, I'm not a mathematician. So 45. So that is what we are doing here. Now for each product price, 133.34, we multiply that by 0.85. So that is going to give us a 15% reduction on 133.34. And as a result, we are getting 113.339. Is it clear, Mrs. Samiat?
It's cleared. It's cleared. And also, I want to ask the previous one that we did before this one.
Okay.
Assuming to write, like, instead of me writing product color, I don't want anything to show on that list. How am I going to write it?
Instead of me to write product column.
Yeah, I want a blank something. I don't want to write anything on that place.
Okay, do you mean that you don't want the column to have a name?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I don't know how to do that though. What I know you can do is to either rename the column, to either leave the column as it is, or rename it. That is what I know.
Okay.
And I don't think there will be a reason for you to say you don't want the column to have a name, because with the column name you'll be able to identify the data, right? For example, product name tells us that everything under product name is a product, right? Is a name of some product, right? Product weight tells us that everything under that is a product weight. So if that column doesn't have a name, it might be difficult for you to interpret it, to say, oh, these products, this data is such and such data. Okay, so now, Mrs. Modinas, are you with us?
Yes,
Is he coming very fine?
yes, it is. Obviously, I understand that we are creating that last line. It was not there before.
The
The
last
new
line.
discounted price. Yes, the new discounted
Yeah.
price. Oh, I think that one ahead, the one you highlighted now, that's
Yeah.
the new one. So the first two are existing, but we are changing their names to the ones in jacket, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So then the condition is where the list price is greater than zero. That's when you are entitled to the discount.
Okay. If I got your question, the where you are
So
confused is
I'm just explaining. I said I got it.
okay. Great. All right. So another thing we can do on this query is, SQL is very, very powerful, and you have started to see some of the powerful things that SQL does. This is one example. Now here, using um, statement, we have generated a column, which is not initially part of the table. It's not part of the original table. We generated that column, right? And we just have a corresponding data for each product price. We have a corresponding discounted price, which is so fantastic, so awesome. So now we can use this idea to even extend it further. How can we extend it? Say, for example, you want like the manufacturers of this product you want to create another column. Now you somehow you come to know that the manufacturers of the product is not in the original table, right? And it is part of the task given to you that, okay, oh, when you write the query, oh, please indicate which the manufacturers of the product, right? Generate another column to show that these products are from such and such manufacturers. So we can use this idea of discounted price that we use to generate a column. We can use that to also generate another column, and then we can call that column manufacturers, and then provide a name. Put the name of the manufacturers for each product. Now let's do that. So let's say I will just say I'll name the column. Now I'm trying to generate using constant now. When I mentioned the title I gave this query was constant and math. So I'm saying manufacturers as um okay. Why this thing it's too, that distance is too much. Okay, so I can say manufacturers as Adventure Works. Let me just use Adventure Works for the manufacturers. Okay, so the manufacturers of this product is Adventure Works. Now let's see. Oh, so what I get is the other way around, the opposite of what I wanted. So I should have Adventure Works here. And then manufacturers here. Yes. Manufacturer. Okay. We run that query. Yep. So now I'm able to now generate another column, and then just provided the name, a data for the column in a set for that column. I also generated data for that column. Okay, so is this clear? If that is clear, give me thumbs up. Yeah, okay. Thumbs up from Mrs. Modena.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
So you mean the manufacturers the column manufacturer that you created, you link it to the adventure work that we are using for this SQL class.
No. There's no link here. I'm just using any random name. Okay, I can say, what is your company name, Mr. Makshon? You are a CEO, you are a chairman now. What is your company name? Tell us now, what is the name of your
Picks
company?
and Cares.
Eh?
Maction Picks and Cares.
Okay, Makshon. I hope I'm spelling it right.
MCSEAN.
M-A
MC
S-C.
MC.
Oh, M-C.
No.
Like this.
No. From the beginning. MCSEAN.
Okay. Oh,
SEAN.
S. Maybe just put it on the chat box. It's not very audible. Waiting. Okay. So, Makshon Picks and Cares. Good. That's a very good name. I like that. Makshon Picks and Cares. So just remove that. Yep. So this thing line up. Okay. So we are now using this as the manufacturers of these products. So let's run the query. So you see what we have. So there is no link in here. Is it clear now?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So that is how you can do some arithmetic in SQL. You can use some constants like 0.85 multiplied by some value. You can also do addition if your query requires that. and you can also use some some string literal. Okay, so this
Hello,
is also,
sir.
yeah.
Sorry, sir. Like the general VAT for the nation is 7%.
The general what?
The general VAT, value added tax, is 7%.
Okay.
That from that list price, can I just say
Mm-hmm.
list price plus 7%? Will it work?
List price plus 7%, of course. 7% is 0.7, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but that would be like that would be like another list price again.
I think putting the plus now, it will make it to be like multiplication.
Or what? Come again? What did you say?
The normal calculation for VAT is let's just say, like, okay, like this list price now that you are using now, that's the normal price from the company, but the company will add 7% to it
Mm-hmm.
now. So if you are not on a list price, should be plus 7%, but you have already converted your 7% to a kind of decimal place. So I think I'm not a good mathematics student, so I'm just looking at it like the list price have to be, sorry, the list price has to be times now times 0. Okay. What you are doing, I think, is correct
Do you think so? I don't
because you
think it is.
already,
I don't think it is correct though, because I now have list price. This is going to give me list price plus 0.7. So it's now adding that. It is not correct. It's now adding the full list price plus 0.7 to the list price again. So we should let's see if we say I'm not sure 7% like this. 7% like that will not work. So it should be 0.07. But we need to look for a way to
or it should
add
be
it.
list price times 0.07.
Times 0.07. No, it doesn't. It should be the original price, right? The
Yes,
original price plus the percentage. So
yes,
like this. But if I it should be like this, actually like this, 7%. Okay.
yes,
But if I do
yes,
it this way, if I do it this way, if I do it this way, this is going to give me this is not going to work obviously.
yes,
So another way is to do it 0.07. And if I do it this way, it's going to add 0.07 to all the prices. That is not percentage, right? So that is not the percentage you are looking for. So I think what we need to do is get a percentage, a 7% of each of the list price, and then add that to the list price. So that is just a little bit of arithmetic. Okay, we don't want to. Okay, so that
I
just give
understand.
you
I understand. Thank you.
uh, that gives you an idea of how we can do math in SQL. Okay, so I think when are we supposed to round up?
5.
5. All right. So we still have a couple of more topics, a couple more topics to cover. Just like a little bit intermediate, or can I say advanced queries to cover. The join statements, because from the beginning we talked about how SQL can be used to combine different tables, right? We said one of the powerful things that the SQL does is its ability to combine data from different data sets and then present it to you as one table. So we could be, for example, this data that you're looking at, these results, where if we use join, we could be getting this data from different tables. And the next year we'll be presenting that to you as one table. That is one of the powerful things that SQL does. Another thing that SQL does is a way of something that we can call something like a report. For example, say we have in this table now we have some products that belong to uh, one category of, let me say, how do I put that now? Say you have products. Okay, so in a table you have some products, and then you want to group those products by the customer, the customer ID or the sales ID. So you want to know, okay, the task given to you is how many products has this customer bought in the past few months or in the past 1 year? How many of our products has this particular person bought? So you want to know how many products is being bought by each customer that you have. So you can group your products by the customer. SQL is very, very powerful. So, and then you present that to yourself or to your superior, grouping all the products together, and then knowing the amount of products bought by each customer. So isn't that interesting?
Yes.
So those are just some of the things that SQL can do for you. So with this, we are going to make it a wrap for today, and hopefully by God's grace, we will cover those advanced or intermediate queries by next week Saturday, and that will be, by God's grace, our final class. The class is meant to finish today, but because of the issues we had last week, we're not able to have any class. So we're only fixing issues. Okay,
Thank you,
so
sir.
yeah, what did you say, Mr. Machon?
I said thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this concentration. Because I'm still looking at today because he gave us the line out, the line up for the class, and I was looking at today is the last day for the SQL, and it's one that you are saying grouping. I don't think we've already done a lot of things about it. So, but for letting us know that next week Saturday we still do this. That's why I'm saying thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. So, but I can't say 100%. Okay, let me be clear. I can't say 100%, but I'm hopeful that we'll be able to have the class. Okay, so now, are you excited about what you can do with SQL? Do you do you foresee anything that you'll be able to achieve with SQL? Are you looking at some applications, some areas that you can explore with what you are learning with SQL? Hello, are you there? Mrs. Samiat, Mr. Markshon, are you there?
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, okay. So my question is, are you excited about what you'll be able to do with SQL?
Yes, yes, very, very excited.
So
Very, very.
what are some areas that you think you'll be able to explore your skills of SQL?
Ah, that question is so sudden, no. But I don't even know how to answer the question. But
Okay.
the way I'm looking at SQL, the way I'm liking it, the way everything is sinking in, I think any area that I come across, maybe in a production section or anything or human resources or anything, I think I can be able to use this experience to work very well, knowing that okay, I'm dealing with data and everything. So I think that's what I
Okay.
can just fathom now. I can just say now. I don't know whether I'm right or wrong, whether I'm making
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Things you are learning here you can be used in different areas, which you can take what you are learning from here and apply it in different areas. Okay, so Mrs. Samiat, are you excited about what you are learning with what you are learning on SQL?
Yes, but based on that specification, maybe when we are done with the class and everything zinc inside my brain, I now say, okay, let me focus on this. Or maybe there's any particular area that I'll show interest on, sure. That will be after the class.
Okay. So, is there any area that is giving you some sort of concern?
Yes, and or that part, sure. But maybe after the class, I'll have to sit down and do some things.
Okay. Um, not just and or not. No. Um, because hopefully, if we are able to hold that class next week, we are going to deal with a more difficult uh, topics, a more difficult set of topics next week. So that are going to be a little bit more complicated than what we have looked at today. So it is normal to be confused at first, to not get it 100%. That is the learning process. But the more you practice, it becomes clearer and clearer and clearer. And and as you do more practice and more practice, it becomes part of you. It becomes who you are. So I think what you need is more practice. And I'm going to try as much as possible to give you, be expecting more exercises, more challenges from me. So that is going to help you to solidify what you have learned so far. So, Mrs. Samiat,
Okay.
does that sound good?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I really
You're,
appreciate.
you're welcome. You're welcome. So, SQL, as I usually say, SQL is very, very fantastic, and you can explore. You can use SQL to explore different areas. So after this, I want to tell you that what we have looked at here is just um, basic to intermediate. Let me say basic and some intermediate of what SQL can do. There are other areas. SQL goes on. There are advanced areas of SQL. And if you continue to learn, you put yourself in a position where you'll be amazed. You'll be so amazed with what you can do with SQL. So SQL is very, very fantastic. SQL is used in data analysis. In fact, more and more people are, learning more data analysts, specialists, more of them, more people are switching to SQL. They are learning SQL to do data analysis better. SQL is used in data engineering. SQL is used in data science. SQL is very, very fantastic and very, very powerful. In fact, SQL is used in software development. SQL is used in software development. Something like what we all know, like Jumia, right? This e-commerce website, all of them, they integrate the code they wrote with SQL. So SQL is those products you see on the website. SQL is the one fetching those products from the database. Those data, the data for those products you see, the picture, the name of the product, the price of the product, the color of the product, and all of those information that you see on the website are actually coming from a database. In most cases, a relational database like AdventureWorks. So SQL is the middleman between the code. It may be written in Java, it may be written in Python. SQL is the middleman between the code that was written and the database. SQL is actually the one fetching those data, retrieving those data from the database and giving it to the code, maybe Python or Java. So SQL is in different areas. SQL is very, very fantastic. Anything about data, call SQL. So the purpose is that why I'm saying this is that you can extend your knowledge, your learning beyond what you have learned here. Very strategic and good position to get a better job on what you have learned. Okay, so thanks.
Thanks so much, sir.
Yeah, you are welcome. You're welcome. All right. So by God's grace, see you next week.
Yes, thank you, sir. Bye bye. Enjoy the rest of your day, sir.
And you too. Thank you very much.